As we've been talking about, Rhode Island Governor Gina Raimondo is set to give her final State of the State address in just a few hours today. My colleague Kim Kalunian live at the State House today, along with 12 News Politics editor Ted Nesi to break down what's next for the governor. Good evening.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, this is certainly going to be an unusual State of the State, Ted. We've been talking about this. No pomp, no circumstance. Folks will not be allowed into the House chamber with the governor. The press, as you can see, is being kept outside. But the governor's looming departure is sort of the cloud that's hanging over all of this. But she took a big step towards becoming Commerce Secretary just this morning.
Yeah, we've been talking about this in the broadcast. The Senate Commerce Committee, of course, sent her nomination to the Senate floor. And I think it's not just important that they took that step. The vote matters. It was 21-3, bipartisan. That is a strong sign that Gina Raimondo is on track to perhaps fairly easily win confirmation. She got the same number of votes from the same committee as Pete Buttigieg, who, as we know, was just confirmed as Transportation Secretary. Now, though, she needs the full Senate to schedule and vote on her nomination to actually get there.
Yeah, and Ted, that's sort of the big question that I think we all have right now. Okay, she's made it through the committee vote, but now when is she going to go before the full Senate? How soon could that happen, or how long might we have to wait?
We're asking the same questions that the governor's team is asking right now, and a lot of other people are. There's just a lot of uncertainty. I mean, the best case scenario for the governor would be that by the end of the week, the Senate would hold a vote and she could be confirmed by the weekend. But it's not hard to imagine how that timing could slip, because you have the impeachment trial of former President Trump coming up on Monday. That will dominate the Senate's attention. Then there's a budget resolution they need to deal with. They're supposed to take a recess for a week in the middle of the month. Republican Senator John Cornyn of Texas, who's high up in the leadership on the Republican side, he suggested he thinks there'll be no more confirmation votes for a couple of weeks. So that could see her being pushed all the way to February 22nd. I'm not predicting that, but it is a real possibility if she doesn't get a vote in the next few days.
Okay, so February 22nd. We haven't gotten to ask the governor questions since, I believe, December 22nd.
Yes.
That was the last press briefing where she took questions from reporters. How sustainable is this, Ted? How much longer can we not have access to our governor like this?
Well, look, I know you agree, Kim, as the press corps, we don't think it's been sustainable this entire time, and it's been very frustrating. But that said, I think every day that this continues, the pressure is going to mount for the governor, for her team, even if they are getting pressure from the Biden team for her to stay under wraps, to speak out, to be more public, to answer questions about the pandemic, especially if this is going to go on throughout much of the month of February. I think there'll be pressure on her to either begin to be more public and active if she's going to be the governor for the rest of this month, or frankly, to resign and let Dan McKee take over now. There's no indication that she's done that, and her advisors are insisting that behind the scenes she's still having Zoom meetings and is very engaged. But I think I am hearing from more and more Islanders who, even if they are supporters of the governor, who think, look, we want a governor who can and will be out there and be active, especially as the vaccine is rolled out.
All right, 12 News Politics editor Ted Nesi, we know you will be tracking every moment of this transition, whether it happens on Friday or later this month. Thanks so much for being here.